Whether you're a beginner to hybrid training, not just for marathons, or if you're basically a Nick Bear, this video is going to help you create your own perfect hybrid training schedule. We're going to look at 3 different hybrid training splits depending on your ability, your background, and your lifestyle needs. At the end, I'm going to share with you a Google Sheet to build and maintain your hybrid training schedule perfectly for you. Now, I've used these hybrid training splits for the last 10 years, from resistance, endurance, and active recovery. Now, resistance work is weight work or gym work. Endurance work can be endurance running, cycling, swimming. And then active recovery is one I think that gets forgotten about as a pillar of hybrid athletic training. But things like yoga, hiking, walking, anything that allows your body to adapt and rest over time and get used to the amount of intensity from lifting heavy weights and the intensity of running miles and miles and miles on a weekly basis. Active recovery is the third and final vital pillar that we're going to slot into your weekly training schedule. A lot of it depends on your ability, your background, your age, your fitness levels, as well as your preference for running, cycling, swimming. Like, each of these sports and disciplines have impacts on bone structure, muscle structure, and your ability to recover and build and maintain muscle through a hybrid athlete schedule. And of course, it's vital to build a schedule around any events you're doing. So as you're running up to a marathon event, you've got to be tweaking your resistance work. You'll be making sure that you're tweaking your levels of cardio and recovery on a day-to-day, week-to-week basis. So there is no steadfast one-way best hybrid training split. There are some variations that you need to consider for yourself. The beginner schedule is focused on 1 session per day. Your goal is to combine those two with active recovery in a smart and measured way, so you're not overloading your body, causing injury, or just getting exhausted. Let's look at an example week. So the beginner or entry training split here has a goal to help gym athletes or runners who want to build muscle mass and aerobic endurance to adapt and improve. So the premise is essentially 1 session per day on average. We load it with 3 resistance sessions. So we've got bench press, deadlifts on Monday, squats and on a Wednesday, and shoulders and arms on a Friday, and 3 endurance sessions. So we've got an easy run, tempo interval run, and the long run on the Saturday, interspersed with 3 active recovery sessions. We've got yoga Wednesday afternoon, Friday morning is a walk, and Sunday is a hike, and rest days around that. And the goal of this is to bring absolute balance to your daily routine. It's to get enough muscle activation, enough muscle fatigue, enough that you can eat enough to build muscle mass and repair. It's still got enough endurance work in there, so you could change out that Tuesday easy run for a cycle, or that Saturday long run for a cycle, depending on what your goals are, what your preferences are. You can move your sessions to morning or afternoon, depending on what you need. I prefer normally, depending on the country I was in, but I'd normally gym in the morning and run in the afternoon when I lived in the UK. But coming to Australia, I now run in the morning and gym in the afternoon. It's just depending on your environment and your preferences. So this is a beginner schedule. And as I said, it's for people who just want to get into that flow, get into that process of trying to build muscle mass, get into 10Ks, half marathons, get into potentially triathlon work generally if they want to, 3 discipline work, but doing so carefully in a smart and measured way. The second tier, or the second schedule we're going to look at, is for intermediate, bordering on advanced hybrid athletes. These are athletes like you. If you can run, you've been in the gym for 2, 3, 4 years. This is my personal schedule that I use. The goal of the 2-a-day session is to find rhythm, but it's really simple, and it's simple for a reason, to get the best out of your body and your mind on a weekly basis. The intermediate training split has a primary goal of consistency and momentum, and it's mainly for marathon runners who want to maintain and build muscle mass, but it's also for gym goers much like myself who want to get to a place where endurance running or endurance cycling or actually getting that aerobic base into place on a daily basis just becomes part of habit, part of routine. It is the one that allows me the most consistency, enough recovery time and rest to get my hybrid athlete work done, to get my training done. It is, at its core, 2 sessions a day. And as you may notice, I like to do most of my endurance or my aerobic work in the morning. That is where I feel like I get the most benefit mentally. I get the most clarity, I get to process the most thoughts, I get to kind of keep depression at bay. And then my afternoon work is usually heavy in the gym. Monday, Tuesday, easy runs, and Wednesday, something faster, and then building into a Saturday long run. And then my borderline bro split gym workout in the afternoon. So Mondays is squats and plyo, Tuesdays is bench, chest and triceps, and then obviously Thursday deadlifts back, and then Friday shoulders and core, with split with yoga in the middle. Like, this yoga session is one of the most important sessions I have in the week. So if I'm in marathon prep, like, these easy runs might be 15K, to choose not 15K, I'm going to be deep into some probably kind of 3 or 4 cycles of progressive overload. So I'm squatting in the region of kind of 120, 130, 140 kilos. I'm benching, 110, 115, 120 kilos. And with the Wednesday interval session, I need this kind of circuit breaker. And then I move into what is essentially Thursday session and Friday session. These 2 days are a build up to this Saturday long run. So this deadlift and back session is my favorite gym output because I just get the most work done, the most weight lifted. This shoulders and core, depending on the intensity and the closer I get to a marathon event, this session can sometimes be just kind of scaled down slightly in preparation. What can sometimes be 25, 30, 35K on that Saturday morning. So this training split is all about just balance. And it's something that I enjoy working with. I really enjoy doing. I enjoy having this consistency. So if you're moving from beginner to intermediate, I'd look into a split like this where the weekends are more or less for rest, but you do a lot of your heavy work or your heavy duty training Monday to Thursday, and that allows you to dial in on those days, get nutrition right, and really kind of maintain consistency and momentum as you move through a training week. Now, if you're a machine, a genuine former elite athlete, or you're just Nick Bear in disguise, this elite schedule, this third tier schedule is probably for you. Now, I'll be absolutely honest, I am no elite athlete right now. There was a time back in the day when I was, and this schedule that I built and I'm building is going to be used by me as I move into 2025 for triathlon and Ironman prep. I think that's the crux of why we are hybrid athletes. It's an all-round growth, physically, mentally, spiritually. This is just my take on what it looks like as a training schedule. You've probably been training for 5, 8, 10 years, and you know exactly what you want. I'm not here to tell you what to do. I'm just here to share insights and my beliefs about what it should look like and how I would attack a training schedule as a hybrid athlete. Let's jump in. The goal is essentially intense progress. Basically, for hybrid athletes looking to prepare for triathlon or Ironman competition, or simply taking their training, their all-round ability as an athlete just to another level. It's more for my subscriber base or people interested that this is how I want to navigate myself from intermediate level hybrid training into a more advanced elite training split. And the intensity takes it up a massive notch. Recovery is vital, rest is vital. And the premise of this elite training split is essentially three a day sessions, or actually on average 2.5 a day across the course of a week. So again, you'll see that the morning slot, split this into 6 a.m., 12 noon slots, and 6 p.m. I like to try and give at least 6 hours between training sessions just to get the body a bit of time to recover. The morning sessions is normally in endurance, and I'll always say the same as I said for my current training split, the intermediate split. It's just a mental clarity thing. I love it. And then the evening sessions, again, are the perfect way to do a lot of my heavy lifting and get into a really good kind of calorie-dense, nutritionally dense dinner after that weighted session, that 6 p.m. session, 4 to 6 p.m. session in the afternoon. And then the real difference between the intermediate split and the training split is these middle sessions. And this middle session is all about just taking that extra brick, that extra step in the progress. And what I like about this middle session is that I put a lot of the work in there that I want to do is kind of more speed work. So I want to be in the pool for half an hour. I want to be out running for 45 minutes. I don't want to be out in this middle slot for an hour and a half, 2 hours. It's very much for me a session where it's just do the morning long endurance work, hammer out a hard interval midday session, and then get into lunch immediately. And that makes my way nicely into the afternoon session. So this is the big difference in the elite session. I'm really excited to try this out. I'm really excited to see how my body goes. This year, obviously, my focus is on the Gold Coast Marathon in July, and then there's no core events at all lined up the rest of 2024. So I'll very much be looking to transfer across into this elite training split from July onwards, end of July onwards, which is going to be awesome. So yeah, that's the concept of this training split. And I think for most of you, it won't apply yet. If it does, then you're a machine and congrats, and that's awesome. But that is the elite training split, and that's all three lined up. So yeah, I hope this was helpful. I hope looking at 3 different kinds of training splits that I've used and I've worked with and I tweaked is helpful for you. I believe that you as an athlete need to work at what works for you. What works out best is on your daily basis with family, with kids, with jobs, with food and recovery and sleep. We're all different, we're all need different things. So take all this with a pinch of salt, work with what you need. I guess the real focus for you as a hybrid athlete is just to find balance. Balance and clarity. Balance allows you to make sure that you're living a well-rounded life, and clarity is you're doing so with physical and mental conviction. So you know what you need to do. You're not overthinking. You're not double-checking yourself every single day. You line up your sessions, you line up your work, and you're off. So yeah, now I'll show you the Google Sheet that I use to track a lot of my training. I will make sure that is open for download, that is both lifting, obviously resistance work and endurance work, and something to active recovery in there. And you'll be able to download that Google Sheet, make a copy, and use it for yourself. Completely free. Edit it all you need, tweak it all you need. It's just something I want to share, and people ask about a lot in the comments. So I'm just going to throw that out there as part of this video as there's a way to track and push through with your training, is keep an eye on it on this document.